Hello, everybody, and welcome to this thing. Whoop, hello. Hi, chat. Hey, this isn't TMS. What is this? Why is this happening at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday? Well, let me tell you. We haven't probably informed anybody about this because I think we forgot yesterday to do it on the show. I don't know why we forgot, but because we knew about it. I think you guys even knew about the procedure, but Tina had a procedure this morning. Brian needed to be her driver. And because he wasn't going to be here, I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And then I found out Tom was in Austin and he couldn't be here for his thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the morning and do some productive stuff with it, including this, which is hang out with you guys for about an hour. So today is going to be different. Excuse me. My voice is still jacked. Also, the valley is covered in a blanket of smoke. You guys want to see how bad this is right now? Check this out. Let me show you this. This is going to blow your mind. Let's see. Where's there's a place online where you can look at satellite imagery in real time, I think. See here. Yeah, here it is. Is it Zoom Earth? No. It's Earth in real time. Here we go. National Environmental Satellite Data and Information Service. I'm pretty sure you can see these fires happening. Oh my gosh, dude. Horrendous. All right. Have a look at this. Whoops. I'm going to go full screen on that. Hold on. Sorry. All right, look at this. That right there, that's smoke. That is obviously a big chunk. Nevada. A little bit of California in there. How do I scroll? Let's see here. There we go. Arizona. You can see Arizona's got their own version of this going on. This is all like photography right now. So as you can see, the up north stuff we've sort of taken care of, but we got some fires just billowing in Eureka here. No, Richfield. Eureka is the area, though, that's got the big, nasty one that you can see this, like, carrying way over here into Colorado. I'm right about here in this zone. However, I'm sorry anyone who's just listening to this. This is very visual. But what we're looking at is real-time satellite data showing the smoke and the fires currently ravaging the West here in the United States, and it's great. Just loving it. Just can't get enough of it, and I hope it just continues until the end of time. Just kidding. I hope none of that's true. But everything smells like a campfire. So you go outside and it smells like, you know how your clothes would smell when you went camping with your family, and you'd go home and you'd smell like a nasty old campfire. That's how it smells. Like even going out this morning to check for mail. It's just like overwhelming. So what this tells me is we timed Nerdtacular perfectly. Oh yeah, no TMS today, Dunaway. I forgot to tell Dunaway. Shit. Brian's out. Sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot to tell him. Anyway, I thought I got everybody. I usually am pretty good about making sure everyone's notified. You know what? It's because Dunaway is just like a brother, and who tells their brother stuff? You know? Their brother's sitting at home, picking his nose. Who tells him? But yeah, he's always the last one to know. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of Dunaway tonight. Anyway, so here's the dealio. What was I going to say? Oh, so Nerdtacular happens a week and a half ago. Perfect weather. No smoke. No fires. We had a little bitty one that happened north of the Capitol, but that got taken care of pretty quick on Thursday of that week. And for the rest of the weekend, it was just clear skies, lovely weather, not too hot, not cold, just a perfect, just mid-70s, no smoke, amazing, right? And then literally like 4 days later, as you can see, I mean, look at that. It's outrageous. Nevada's really covered up, man. Holy shit. I feel bad for Nevada. You think it's smoky in Vegas. Anyway. Stay safe out there, I guess is what I'm saying. Nobody, I don't know. Don't breathe in it too much. Yeah, I was going to say, Jeannie, my voice thing was pretty wrecked by Nerdtacular and a cold prior to that. So it's just like one thing after another. And now this. We've got pretty good filtering in the house, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to get it, right? When it's filling the air like that. And, yeah, as a result, my throat's kind of lame. Carter's not doing well with it either. She already has kind of some breathing stuff. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, BioCow's got a good point. You can blame Metsula for the smoke monster. The smoke monster, boy, did it leave a freaking mess in its wake. Look at that. Also, the worst of it is this Eureka fire, because look at this nasty, gross looking color. Like, this is kind of a nice, lovely, fluffy smoke, if you can say that. But this looks rancid. Like a stain. Look at that. And it's like reaching all the way into Oklahoma. Sorry, Oklahoma. Where the smoke rolls gently down the thing. Anyway. Enough about that. I would like to read to you a passage of something, and then I'd like to open things up to a little Q&A and a little hangout here. Again, I think on the audio version of this, I think I warned people at the top, or I will in the future. I will put this in here, but since you're hearing it now, you've already heard it. But I'll warn you. This is not TMS today. This is just a little bit of hanging out, a little bit of talking, a little bit of fun. Okay, that's what's going on today. All right. Not that TMS isn't fun. Of course it is. But today, we do this. This is what we do. I read from a passage from Turmoil in the Toy Box by Phil Phillips. Now, I know I've brought this book up before. I just found out today, I didn't know he made an entire book about how the Power Rangers were destroying our children. And I need to find a copy of that book. There's one on Amazon for $38, and I'm not paying that. That's stupid. That's stupid. Not in this economy. So, if anyone out there figures out how to get a hold of one of these, let me know. Like, that's how I got these. Some fan sent it, and their mother had marked it up. Anyway. These books are great because they go after everything. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Smurfs, Care Bears, Transformers, all the stuff from my childhood. It was written and published in 1986 by this guy named Phil Phillips. Would like you to see him. That's Phil Phillips. Why isn't it focusing? Hold on. And the reason I'm showing you his visage is I want you to see something about him. So hold on just a second. Image. Autofocus is on. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, that's Phil Phillips right there. He's got Phil in his name twice. Now, I bring this up because I always like to see how people have evolved. And I'm going to show you an image here. If I can find it here. Phil Phillips. Here we go. No. Okay, here we go. Phil Phillips. Come on now. Where is it? Not Arthur. Author. Here we go. Phil Phillips about. All right, this image of him. Let me tell you what that screams to me. What that tells me is that tells me that old Phil had a midlife. I don't know. I'm not here to. I'm not judging. I don't know Phil. I don't know him at all. I know of him. I know his work. I know that he was part of the Satanic Panic. Good times. Made a lot of money on it. And we have this, of course. Let's see. Here he is.
He-Man has more power than Jesus.
That's Phil Phillips. I'll play it one more time in case you missed it. Whoops. Go back.
He-Man has more power than Jesus.
You heard it here. All right. You heard it here. Anyway, to the portion I was going to read. I'll start with this one. There are many cartoons that are filled with violence and the occult. Among these are The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Speed Racer, Tarzan, Spider-Man, and G.I. Joe. All of these should be considered unsuitable for children of any age. And here's the part that I have some scrutiny about. He's got references here, or he's got footnotes, so maybe he did his research. But some of this sounds wrong. He says, another fact to consider about cartoons, in general, and as pointed out by Chuck Jones, creator of Pepe Le Pew and the Roadrunner and Coyote. He didn't create Roadrunner or Coyote. He was instrumental, but he didn't create them. Anyway, whatever. Jones said that the implication in cartoons is if, quote, if you are ugly, then you are evil, and if you are cute or pretty, then you are okay, unquote. It is horrifying to think children could grow up with this thinking. If they did, how would they handle those with physical handicaps? Would they think that these people are evil? Ergo, Chuck Jones must have been evil with this quote, is the idea. There have been many cases where children have died while trying to fly out of the window while imitating Superman. He doesn't give any reference or any kind of accreditation to his claim there. There's another case involving a child's death in which the parents are awarded an undisclosed sum of money. In this case, let's read this here. A 6-year-old Michigan boy died. It says his name was TV's Travis. Weird. I think he may not have died. Anyway, Michigan boy died after copying a hanging scene detail by detail that was portrayed in the Saturday morning Scooby-Doo cartoon. Again, I have my doubts. So, if all of the occult and violent acts were not enough, consider the following radio broadcast that was featured in the Moral Majority Report. I'm not reading that. It's long. Let's see. I'm going to read this bit about Smurfs. The Smurfs. You know the Smurfs? Grandpa Smurf. No, Papa Smurf with no underwear. No. Who has no underwear? Lady Smurf has no underwear, or whatever her name is. And then, for whatever reason, she's given birth to the entirety of the Smurf population. There is no other Lady Smurfs. See, I have basic problems with the Smurfs, but they got nothing to do with the occult. Anyway, the Smurfs cartoon originated in Europe, it was French to be exact, but it has had an unprecedented success in the United States. It has been enthusiastically embraced by both children and parents. It's a bit of a broad claim. Everyone thinks the cartoon's quote-unquote cute. You put it in quotes. But don't let that innocent facade fool you. Underneath the cuteness is a cartoon laden with the occult, which is presented mostly in the form of magic. This cartoon can be discussed or will be discussed in detail in the Cute and Innocent chapter. Can't wait to get to that. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He really focuses on He-Man. And you can see on the cover, there's like a little He-Man in the box down there at the bottom. Check him out with he doesn't have an axe, but for some reason this illustrator gave him an axe. Plus you got, I think Skeletor is supposed to be that. That's supposed to be Skeletor. And then that's Castle Grayskull back there that just looks like, I don't know what it looks like. Maybe they didn't want to get sued. They're like, we can't have the sword that he holds aloft, like the mighty sword, and says, all right, it says here, despite the unprecedented popularity of this cartoon series among children, many parents and adults have voiced great concerns about it. And you got to remember, this book comes out in the heyday. I think the heyday. Maybe we were a couple years in. But it might have been the height of popularity for He-Man. Anyway. The entire series is based on occult practices, magic, sorcery, witchcraft, necromancy, etc. The show also blasphemes God by placing a mortal on the same plane as he. He-Man is known as the most powerful man in the universe. He is also called the master of the universe. How is it possible when God tells us he alone is master of the universe? In another chapter of this book, I deal specifically with the occult images found in the series, as well as She-Ra, Princess of Power. Oh shit! So he had a real beef with He-Man. Here's a fun one: Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. The cartoon is based on the occult game series Dungeons and Dragons. They were still tooting that horn. The fantasy role-playing game involves characters who use magic and sorcery to obtain treasures. The cartoon series, like the game, emphasizes white and black witchcraft. This cartoon averages 67 acts of violence every half hour. There is another chapter in this book devoted entirely to Dungeons and Dragons. Well, I look forward to that as well. Hold on, there's a really good one here. Oh, here's a little xenophobic anti-other religions unless you're Christian. Occult symbolisms in cartoons are extremely prevalent. Many of the characters' names are linked to the occult. There is a significant amount of witchcraft, magic, sorcery, and other occult practices being performed. I mean, I guess if you tell me often enough, I start to believe you. And many of the objects used by the characters, such as the breastplate or staff, have occult symbols on them. But this use of occult symbols does not end here. In fact, many of the messages spoken on the shows have their origins in humanism and Eastern religions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism. Oh, how dare they? There are thousands of examples of these, which can be gathered from watching any of these shows. Transformers has some Buddhism in it, does it? Let's see. He-Man averages 37 acts of violence every half hour. 67 for the one we talked about. G.I. Joe's most violent cartoons, 80 acts of violence every half hour. Yeah, but they're escaping with their lives all the time in that show. No one ever gets hurt in G.I. Joe. It's lasers nobody gets hit with and constantly parachuting to safety. Anyway, there's a bunch of other shit in here. Let's see if I can find there we go. Symbols of the occult. Where did it go? There's a really great quote in here. I can't find it. Dang it. All right. Well, Brian will be happy, or Dunaway will be happy to know they cover Black Star in here. We watched Black Star. That was fun. He's not a fan. Let's see if I can find, where is it? This lady went in here and highlighted a bunch of stuff, and I'm sure she thought she was highlighting really important things. But, here we go. Cabbage Patch Kids. He says, now, I'm not saying these dolls are a cult. I think that's how he says it, because it's him.
He-Man has more power than Jesus.
I'm not saying they're part of the occult. Let's see. Yet I believe these dolls teach young children ideas that are beyond their years. Pre-adolescent children are not ready to become parents. They still have a lot of growing up to do on their own. Well, yeah. Why would they be forced to accept the responsibility of really raising a child? I don't know. Some of you guys seem to think that's a good idea. I know some stories. Anyway. Aren't they the ones always voting for lowering the age of marriage consent or whatever? Anyway, I'm not trying to kick up any modern dirt. I'm just saying. They should be allowed to play with dolls and pretend the doll is real. However, the pretend should not become confusing for the child. The child should realize the doll is just a doll and that it does not have human traits. Well, thanks, freaking genius, freaking Gandalf with your wisdom. Oh, let's get into Barbie for a second. Just for a second. Barbie dolls and other teenage high fashion dolls pose a particular threat to younger children. These dolls cause children to develop different attitudes than dolls with... I'm going to read that exactly as it's written because that's weird. These dolls cause children to develop different attitudes than dolls with which they can practice parenting. Okay, I get it. These dolls encourage children... The dolls don't do shit. These dolls encourage children to focus on self and to strive to meet the ideal perfection that Barbie sets forth, such as the perfect hair, body, boyfriend, clothes, car, and house.
He-Man has more power than Jesus.
All right. And then they have some story here about how a girl wanted to be like Barbie so bad she ended up with psychosis. Anyway. It's fantastic stuff. My favorite part is the pictures. He puts them in here so parents can be warned. This is what He-Man looks like. Don't be fooled. If you see this guy with a sword in the air and he's got, it looks like he might be a little bit on the on the happy side of Pride Month. Just no, he's coming. Look, he's got Ram Man in here. Oh, thank goodness we've got Ram Man. Ramming or extended. That's extended man, extended Ram Man, and Ram Man ramming. Of course, Beast Man. But they give you everybody so that you're not confused. They have a picture of some toys, like military toys. It just says war and violence. We're not going to tell you what these are. It's just war and violence. Look, I don't like war either. Just think he's got a causation versus correlation problem going on here. Oh, look at this Yoda they used. This is Star Wars Yoda. That is a gnarly Yoda. Star Wars Darth Vader. E.T. Yeah, how dare we buy an E.T. toy? There's the G.I. Joe stuff. Rainbow Bright. I don't know if Rainbow Bright is in the chat, but there's Rainbow Bright, which I think is her namesake. Scary stuff, man. Oh, I love it. These are all like, okay, Robotech, Thundercats, Rainbow Bright, all this stuff. But then they've got Jesus crucified on a pentagon from a comic book. You don't even get like specifics. It's just, Also, I don't think that's supposed to be Jesus. Pretty sure that's just a dude. Let's see what else I got. The barbarization of our children. Children must live in the world and they will never be, live in a world, they will never be exposed to violence in some, what? Children must live in the world and they will be exposed to violence at some point in their lives. Nevertheless, that's how they get you. Should we invite violence and a cult into our homes to be part of our children's playtime? In John 15:9, we're told we are not of the world. Jeez. Anyway, I feel bad for kids who grew up this. But I also find it very funny. If anyone out there can find a copy of the, let's see, the exact title, I wrote it down. The Truth About Power Rangers. If anybody has got access to that, I would be very interested. I want to read it. But they have one left in stock. $33. No thanks. There it is. Paperback, $33. I'm not paying that in this day and age. Reviews aren't great, but that's what I'm excited about, right? I want to read this trash. So, if anyone has a copy, let me know. I'll pay shipping. I just want to get it. Add it to my collection. I have Turmoil. Even better if you even better if you find the person who wrote in the book, like highlighted it. If you have that in the book, like a used copy. This is Susan Hayes. I don't know who she is, but I love looking at her notes and like the things that she specifically wrote. Care Bears were a big concern of hers. She went crazy with the Care Bears. Like, look at this warning. Throughout the Care Bears series, there is a subtle interweaving of 3 ingredients. Ingredient number 1, humanism. Ingredient number 2, magic. And finally, ingredient number 3, Eastern religions. He also, sorry, I didn't want to make this like a whole topic, but he also released a book this year called Turning Back into the, where'd it go? See if I can find it. Phil Phillips, here we go. Oh, Amazon doesn't have it, so I can't find it easily. But basically, it's a return to the toy box, but from a digital. Now we're in the digital era. What does that mean? What kind of nonsense can I spew now? Although I'm with him if he doesn't like Roblox. Maybe go after the real problems, you know? Like Roblox is a problem. I don't think Roblox does enough to solve the problem. This, by the way, is another great one. This is Saturday Morning Mind Control. I also have this somewhere down there in my bookshelf. Fantastic. It's a tiny little image there. It's not great. Let me pull that out. Look at that Ninja Turtle. Look at that. And the cereal. Oh, how dare they? There's a Care Bear looking all evil. Look at the Batmobile. Isn't that wild? Oh, hi, Carter. Did Mom get back? How is she? Is she okay? Cool. Anyway, so if anyone has access to that, I would love to complete the collection. I'm trying to collect them all. I don't think I want the modern one because that's dumb. That's just somebody milking his previous success, and that's not interesting to me. But don't go crazy. Nobody pay full price for that. That's stupid. Please don't do that. All right, let's get to some checking the chat and see what's going on. I've missed a lot of the chat here. If you have specific questions for me today, please tag me. Benjamin said, "Did you see the Kickstarter for this book? What book is that? I don't see a link. You should feel bad for kids today too. They're going through the same thing, especially if they're trans and non-binary. But yeah, I remember this idiotic mess during my childhood in the 90s. Yeah, like I think I got really lucky growing up. My parents were not weird like this at all." During my formative years, which would have definitely been during the height of the satanic panic of the 80s. Ample opportunity. I had plenty of friends who were, warned against all this stuff. Carter and I have talked about this on the Monday show before, but, the number of friends that they had that were told that SpongeBob was demonic and they couldn't watch it because of that or various other things like that. That was pretty rampant in her friend groups. But we didn't have that problem growing up, and we didn't do that to our kids, obviously. In fact, we were kind of gung-ho. It's like, what's this weird cartoon? We're watching this. Let's go. So I really enjoyed that. Let's see. Someone just wrote, "Oh, Dr. Calhoun, parents banning The Simpsons is so stupid. What other family on TV goes to church?" Yeah, I know. They're the most regular church-going family depicted on television. And honestly, depicting the most long-lasting of the quote-unquote values everybody's always trying to tell you are the pinnacle of their existence. I don't understand it either. I've never gotten that. They're always going to church. Marge and Homer have been together forever. They are the most like traditional stay together couple. With all the complications that are part of real life, they stay together. And there have been episodes where Homer was tempted to, have an affair with, was it Lurleen? Remember that? The country singer? And Homer, every opportunity Homer had. And he was faced with all the great temptations. Money, sex, having a midlife, there's a dog under me. Sorry. Hi, Ripley. That freaked me out. I just felt their back on my knee. I was like, what the frick is that? Anyway, all of those values, and there they are on the world's longest running animated cartoon. You can say you don't like The Simpsons anymore. It's not as fun as it used to be. You can do whatever you want with that. We're not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, values wise, that show is more reflective of real people trying to have some family values. And succeeding, greatly succeeding in doing that. That's just wild to me that you would see that as like this demonic thing that would, if you brought it into your home, you were going to ruin your house. I'll never get it. I'll never understand that. All right, let's look back and see if there's more. Make sure to tag me if you have a question. I won't see it necessarily. TV's Egon, did you family train all you? What? I think you meant your. Did your family train you all in making funny faces for the camera? Just wondering after seeing Wendy's photos. Man, you guys are in for a treat. When we finally get all the TV's Egon photo stuff from Nerdtacular, you guys are in for a treat. He did such great stuff. And I think you told me he did in a 6,000 or so range of shots. Anyway, wondering after seeing Wendy's photos. Yeah, I mean, that was standard procedure in our house. You never took, if there was family photos to be taken, you never took one. You took one, at least one normal, plus one everybody flipping out and doing faces. I have many examples of this from the historical record. To me, I don't know any other way of doing that. All right, let me go back a little bit. Sorry, everybody. Let's see. Sure. Guys, everyone's always got interesting stuff. This guy's full mega, right? I have no idea. He might be. Oh, Toy Box Rewired. That's the name. Here. Can't see the cover. See if it's on Barnes and Noble. Nope. This guy's not getting good distribution for his new Books A Million, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble do not carry the Toy Box Rewired by Phil Phillips. Yeah, that's just somebody trying to cash in on an old thing that he used to be famous for. I think that's what that is. All right, let's check some more. Sorry, let's see. I just don't want to miss any tags early. Okay, here we go. Bad for Kids Day. They're going through. Oh yeah, you already read that. And yes, I do feel bad for kids who are dealing with any of that stuff. Freaking F that, man. I just don't understand how adults who wouldn't go, like if a kid come home and go, I gotta watch The Simpsons, Mom. Why? My friends, it's so cool. And I'd be like, well, let's watch it. Let's go. Me and you, let's watch. I don't understand it. I don't understand why that's hard or why that's scary or why that's somehow you failing as a parent. That's you succeeding. Whatever. Okay, I think I got most of these. Does the book have a take on Mask? I think Mask was maybe a little late. That was like 86. It may have just he may have just missed it, BioCow. But Toy Box Turmoil or whatever, or the sequel to this book may have had a reference. I'm not sure. All right. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Modern Dirt came from somewhere, though. Modern Dirt. Oh, did I make a reference to Modern? Okay, that's everybody. Let's go down. We're going down. Hey, okay. Let's answer some of these questions. There's a feature film? Hold on. Kickstarter? What? Hold on. What is this?
Hey, Andrew Bowser here, director of Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, and Frankenbabes from Beyond the Grave. Over the last year, I've completed 2 feature-length screenplays for much larger projects than my previous films. I love those scripts, and actually have confidence that one, or maybe both, might find a way to get made sooner rather than later. But getting projects financed and produced through the traditional route takes time, and I'm not one to rest on my laurels. While working on those scripts for the larger projects, I've thought there has to be a way to make a feature between now and when one of those bigger projects gets off the ground. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and wait? Huh? Disappear into nothingness? That's when I had an idea. I remembered something that I was obsessed with a few years ago, an old TV special that I saw on YouTube from 1984 entitled The Deception of a Generation. It's a special hosted by Gary Greenwald as he interviews a guest named Phil Phillips. Phil is on Gary's show to promote a book he wrote called Turmoil in the Toy Box. Turmoil is all about how the cartoons and toys from the 1980s are bringing Satan into our homes and corrupting our children. For years I've wanted to take that original footage and composite myself in, remixing the narrative, so to speak, culminating in a found footage horror finale. So as I've been waiting on those larger projects to come to fruition, I went ahead and shot Turmoil in the Toy Box. I was getting antsy. I partnered with an amazing makeup artist named Chloe Sens to create my version of Pastor Phil, and in 2 days, my DP from Onyx and Frankenbabes, Dan Adlerstein, along with a small skeleton crew, shot enough new footage to create a feature-length reimagining of the original special. I've already edited it, and it's currently with my team of VFX artists, my sound designer, and my composer. Now, this is where you come in. Although I was able to get the film shot and edited using a small GoFundMe and some private investments, the remaining post-production on this project is a heavy lift. With over 200...
All right, well, he's just going to get into the finances, but man, did this happen then? When was this? Give me a date. Give me a date. Give me a date. There's no date. It got funded. I want this so bad. Oh my gosh, dude, I need to see this. All right, I can't tell when this was done, if they're still working or what the deal is, but sign me the F up. The minute he said like found footage or whatever. Okay, funded in May, it says at the top. Oh, if I could read, that'd be great. You know what's wild is my inability to read is a crazy... sorry. Crazy ability to read. All right, sorry. My bad. Let's talk further. Let's talk more. By the way, have we only had one blip today? Yeah, so far. 165 frames. We're doing some testing. Me and Kevin and the Pagan Gent keeping our eye on things, trying to figure out why we get intermittent blips. Looking at log files. I'm not saying I'm here today just to do that. I'm not saying I'm using you as an excuse to sit and talk about Phil freaking Phillips and all his BS just to test the stream integrity. Who would do that? All right, let's move on. Let's see. We got some more stuff from people. By the way, I just wanted to appreciate who said stupid sexy Flanders, who did it. I don't know who did it, but I love it. All right. There it is. Win Megas. Thank you, Win Megas. All right. Let's see. Will you be starting 40K now that the orcs are front and center for a bit? You mean like actual tabletop 40K? Probably not. I don't have time nor the budget at the moment to really go hard. Yeah. We'll see. I love 40K, and I'm looking forward to that new, what's the new game from Owl or whatever, Owl Studios, the ones that did the last one. I forget what they're calling the new one. Very much looking forward to that CRPG. Racer will be okay. Is the cosplay showcase going to be online somewhere? Asked Win Megas. Yes, the cosplay contest will be up on YouTube. We're not worried about that one for copyright reasons. Kevin has done all the due diligence to get me video at this point. I think I've got it all now. So today is the day all that stuff's getting posted. I'll put all that up before Play Retro tonight, as well as all of All-Stars this year. Brian freaking killed it. And by that, I mean the positive killing it. It's really, really good. Thank you. My wife just brought me items of edibleness. Look at this. It's like a restaurant in here. Are the kids here? Oh, cool. I can't wait to see them. Don't let them watch any cartoons. They're evil. I just learned from Turmoil in the Toy Box. What? Oh, I'm still drinking it. All right, love you. Sorry. Wife time. Anyways, what was I saying? What was the point of that? Where was I going? What was Scott doing? I lost it. Oh, cosplay. Okay. The All-Stars thing is going to go up on the TMS Patreon page, patreon.com/TMS. It will not be blocked for paywall at all. It'll be fully public, which is the only place I can find that isn't going to ding me for all the copyright. So that's why that's going there. I'd put it on YouTube if I could. They already shut it down when we did it live. So did Twitch. No one liked it. So there's that. Okay. TVZ gone. Send us a link. Ooh, we got updated photos? Hold on. Ooh, let's have a look. Look at Wendy. Yeah. She makes faces like that all the time. I had so much fun with my sister on this trip, or on this one. I have a recommendation. If you have a sibling, if you don't have siblings, that's okay, obviously. But man, if you're going to have one, just know it's one of the greatest things in the world to have multiple siblings. And in particular, just Wendy's the best. I just love her. I love my sister. I like that shot of me and Brian. I like all these. I'm going to do a little cap in here for sharing these out later. Whoops. Again, if you're watching, I'm looking at some of TVZ Gon's fine photo work. Oh, that Randy one. Randy's gonna have to see that. Look at him. Look at the majestic Randy in his natural habitat. Good Lord. Gotta love that, dude. These are just some candids. Lots of people hanging out, talking in between things. Me and Zarek hanging out. Bill Duran's cool robot. All the swag bags. It's weird that this was a week and a half ago. Oh, I look so old. All right. Enough of that. Awesome stuff. I can't. Greg's just killing it. I love it. I haven't looked at the latest Greg dump, says Sunbun. Fantastic thing to hear. All right. Let's see. Are there any important family trips you went on as a kid that you have wanted to recreate in your own kids or grandkids? A stigma. Yes. And I'll tell you that I have some regret that we haven't done it or figured out a way to do it. Part of it's because when I grew up, you could afford this. my mother and dad, my father, I should say that, had a boat and a motorhome. And you may say, whoa, rich kids. You could afford more of that stuff way back in the day. Not to say that everybody had one, but you know, it was a priority for my dad. So he had this boat. It was a small boat, and we would take it to Lake Powell 3 times a summer, sometimes more. And 10-hour drive, we didn't care. Lake Powell was like our paradise. I'm pretty sure the reason I'm in love with deserts and like Fury Road vistas and things like that, it all comes from 2 places. One, seeing Star Wars at 8 years old and being enamored with all things Tatooine, and then going to Lake Powell all the time meant like red rock and crazy rock formations and bluffs and cliffs and deep blue water, and just that whole vibe just stuck to me like glue. So I wish that was a thing we could do. Ain't nobody affording no boat right now. But man, I miss it. Right now it's super low. Like we're having a drought real bad, and the water level's like crap. I'd probably be able, this is the thing we used to do when we were kids. We'd go there, and the next year we'd come back and the water would rise. We had the opposite problem, and it would cover where we camped last time. So there was a time where we had this cave that we found, and we were pretty sure we were the only ones ever to see this cave. You know, we discovered this cave as far as me and my brother were concerned. And in the cave, there was like a jutting out thing, and then under that was like a bunch of sand. It was perfect sand, so that's where we actually camped and set up tents and did all our food and everything. And then the next year you come back and the water had filled that all in. It was gone. Like literally, it's now, you know, it's like Waterworld when Kevin Costner has to go down to the bottom of Denver. Like that. And it used to really frustrate us because we're like, dang it, that was so cool last year. We also did this other thing where we would leave, we'd get watermelon. Back when I was a kid, there weren't watermelon or seedless watermelons. We hadn't done whatever science that is yet. So seeds in the watermelons, and we would spit those out on the shore of where we were, wherever we were camped. And then often the next trip or the next 6 months or so, we'd come out again and a big watermelon patch grew where we put our seeds. And then we would eat those watermelons. And that was the other reason that we thought this was so cool, because you know, we felt like we discovered areas, and then we would also plant food. It was really weird. When you're a kid, this just seems like the most amazing thing you ever did. Anyway, I hope that answers your question of stigma. Let's see. Let's scroll down, looking for more tags. Sorry, my eyeball's going to tags, everybody. Cyranex, what is the most malicious, nonviolent punishment you wish upon a person? My example would be wishing the person had the worst diarrhea while stuck in traffic on a bridge. I'll go one further and say wishing the person had the worst diarrhea on an elevator stuck with 14 other people. Yeah. That's what I want. And I'm not telling you who why do I have 2 music tracks going? Okay, sorry about that. I mean, that's an awful thing to wish on anybody, but if we're talking about nonviolent, like I don't wish anyone real harm. I just wish them a great deal. There's a couple of people in the world I would wish great embarrassment to. Dr. Calhoun, it isn't him. It's some guy doing makeup to look like him and compositing himself. No, I know. From that, you're talking about that thing? Yeah. The Kickstarter? I'm behind on the chat, so you probably already know this. All right. Trump poll. Hey, Scott, seen any good movies lately or anything you're excited to see soon? I'm excited about Supergirl. I'm going to try to see it this weekend if I can somehow work that out. Still trying to just carve out time. We're going to go see Brian ride on Saturday, so my weekend's a little borked, but I don't know, maybe Sunday. I don't know yet. We really want to see it though, so I think that's the only one that's really on my radar at the moment. All these horror movies I want to see them all, but it's fine if they're at home first. I'm not in any rush, I've been watching documentaries about the Revolutionary War and the Declaration of Independence. That was actually, you know what? Big recommendation. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed with just how shitty things are for our 250th birthday as a nation, and what a rotten time to have such a good number. You know what I mean? I'm not getting into details. You know what I'm talking about. If you're feeling that way, 2 recommendations. Watch the John Adams miniseries on HBO Max or wherever you can get it. It is, was it 6 episodes, 5, whatever it is. One of the great miniseries of all time, in my opinion. And oh man, what a piece of work. The acting, everything about it. So good. Watch that. And then also watch Ken Burns' The Revolutionary War, currently streaming on PBS for free. The PBS app has that one for free. Another 6 or something episodes. Fan-freaking-tastic. In fact, Paul Giamatti comes back to do the voice of John Adams in that documentary, which I thought was pretty cool. When they would read his letters and stuff. But it's so good. And it just had this way of like pushing out all the noise and focusing on what are we actually talking about. Like we see some douche in a truck with a big old flag that says "Don't tread on me." What does it actually mean? Does he even know what it means? The answer is no, he doesn't know. We don't know most of that stuff. So just educate. I'm not saying you guys aren't. I'm saying if you're just feeling overwhelmed with all that and it feels distorted to you, and time will do that. Time will distort things. Go read and view and see legitimate history. Cited, fact-based history. It's complicated and nuanced and hard and inspiring, but then hard again. It's hard. That documentary doesn't shy away from this weird, and I think George Carlin said this once, but this weird dichotomy of these were powerful, rich, white men trying to achieve freedom while owning slaves. Not all of them. John Adams never did. But most of the founding fathers. Think of that for a second. What is the point of this? Freedom from Britain. How do we get it? Well, we do all these things. Sweet. Big revolt. We get it. We made it. We had it happen. All the ways you got it done. And the entire time you had slaves. It's a wild thing, man. Red Fraggle, you just said something. I haven't scrolled to it yet, but it's interesting. Talk about Abigail Adams. Man, she is something else. And that miniseries is already a great portrayal of her, but this documentary, even more so. They read a bunch of letters from her. Way ahead of her time. An incredible woman in history. No one thinks about Abigail Adams. And they should. Oh my gosh, I love that part. Anyway. Sorry, that went places. Molly says, I think Phil Phillips did something on rock music. He wasn't that also, there's a guy named Phil Phillips who was who actually was a musician. It's a different guy though. I know that's not what you're meaning. You're saying he did a book on it, but this was, what's the name? What's the name of the stupid thing? American Idol? Wasn't there a guy? Pretty sure it was an American Idol guy. Let's see. Monkey Bananas at the top. It said it would be funded. All right. Sorry, missed that. Benjamin, Steam was really blippy during RE9, but great during TMS and today. Was it? I didn't hear anybody else say it was blippy. I know we had one drop, but it was super blippy. All right. Well, we're still working on it, guys. I bet it's your Google Fiber somehow. Yeah, no, we know. We know it's related to Google Fiber somehow. It's some routing thing. It's only with streaming to Twitch. We don't know why. We're still digging. I don't have siblings. Can you be my older brother? Yes, Tweep. Let's do it. How do we make that official? I mean, at this stage of our lives, we're both adults and getting stuff done. We don't really need anything special from a family. So, I have no. Let's do it. Well, you're welcome. Welcome to the family. Tweepex Johnson is your new name. Get used to it. TVZ gone. How about that smoke show, Bobby? I know, right? Handsome bastard. Looks like freaking Jesus. Work with people that look at you like this. Oh, look at that longing view of him just staring at me. Oh shit, I skipped forward. Hold on. All right, here we go. Back to this. Monkey Bananas, I'm no frog pants, but I'll be your Minnesota brother. Do it. Okay, next up. Let's scroll down some. Hopefully those 14 other people deserving a punishment as well. 14 other people? 14 other people. I don't remember the context. Sorry, Amy, I don't know what that is. Scott KMFTM. Do you see Thunder Road Vendetta? Have you seen the Thunder Road Vendetta board game? Yes, I have. I don't have it, but I hear it's awesome. And Dan has been bugging me to get this and play it. And I think it's out now, right? I know there was a Kickstarter thing, and it was like wasn't it one of those classic bringbacks? Anyway, Icor, Silo returns July 3rd. Yes, it does. I've seen the trailer, the teaser. Many of you know I'm a massive, massive fan of the series of books, and the show has not disappointed at all. I love it. It has cemented Rebecca Ferguson as my favorite actor girlfriend. Look, I don't lust after people, but I do think that in a different lifetime, me and Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? That only worked visually. So let me tell the people at home, I crossed my fingers and held them up. I wasn't trying to be lewd. Okay. KT Data, maybe Utah Tadpole get together for Spider-Man. Maybe. I mean, if we can get... The problem is it's so last second. For sure, I think we're going with Kevin and Noel no matter what. Whether more of you are there, I don't know. It just sort of depends on what we do this weekend. Luke Skywalker, imagine trying to hold in your I think he meant fart, if you got explosive diarrhea, like that guy owes you money. Yeah. The problem is, I think this is happening with the one of the 2 or 3 people I mentioned. I think it's already happening with them on elevators, but they're wearing a catch-all. Let's see here. Amy's liking that. I like that too. Hey Scott, Shima still burns. Maybe putting the game's fire out will help with your in real life fires, says the Wraith. Yeah, I've thought about that. A lot of love in here for Ken Burns. Listen, Ken Burns is a international treasure, and we should all he's such an international treasure. A national treasure that even Nick Cage would want to go try to steal him and keep him safe. You get the reference? It's pretty good stuff, right? Apologies. But anyway, yeah, I don't know anyone like him. The people he works with, there's some notable names he's always collaborating with on these documentaries. I forget their names. They will carry the torch, I'm sure. But no one's doing this. What he's doing, no one else is doing. Like when people want to go, the 250th anniversary, let's do rah rah, the Independence Day, yip yap yoop, and they skim over all the hard stuff. What were the Native Americans doing at the time? What were black slaves trying to do at the time? Why was that complicated? What about the part where we tried to go up into Canada and take over a chunk of it and it didn't work? What about all these parts that are just less talked about, that are complicated and hard to hear sometimes? He does that with everything. And not only does he do that, he's like, well, I need this part where the leader of the Choctaw Nation wrote a letter to, I don't know, Massachusetts or something. They go and find and hire a Native American actor to do the part. There's something going on there that nobody else is doing with their documentarian stuff. It's historical documentaries. and somehow not have it be boring. Like this, it's the most entertaining stuff. I've seen the baseball documentary, which again is not just about baseball. It is, but it's about life around it all the time. The Civil War era and what was baseball then, when no white people and no black people are allowed to play on the same teams, and then the Black League, and then first black player to play on a white team, and what did that mean, and what were the nuances of that? But at the same time, with all that social stuff, the magic of baseball is getting talked about as well. Why that sport means something more than just it's a sport. It's so good, and I've seen that one now, I think 4 total times, and that's 18 hours, 9 innings. That's how they did it, and I think they even added extended innings in 06 or so. But 9 innings, meaning 2-hour segments, 18 hours. And I do it again. My gosh, it's good. All right, more questions. Pred819 says, Scott has a point. Okay. I'm not sure what he means there. Also, I think he knows. I'm not sure what that means either. All right. If you never saw it, the Sheep Detectives movie is streaming on Prime. Big recommend for you and Carter, says Win Vegas. Yes, on my list for sure. Hey, Carter, you want to watch that Sheep Detectives movie? Well, yeah. We'll watch it together. It's supposed to be really good. We're not going to avoid it because it's going to make you cry, though. When do you want to cry? Let's do it. We're going to get it done. Let's see. Red Fraggle. You know what I learned from the John Adams miniseries? That Abigail was a pioneer for vaccinations in the country. Yes, that's the other thing. The inoculation method back then, though. Oof. Plus, we didn't really understand germ theory yet, so we were just cutting into people, dirty fingers. And they showed that. Like, they were showing... That doctor's like got the gnarliest. I don't know if you noticed when they close up to the arm, his fingernails and his fingers are just gross. Blah. Watch Death by Lightning as well. James Garfield would not be dead if that assassination attempt happened like 20 years later. That is also excellent. You guys should watch that. I'd put it up there with the John Adams business. It's different tonally, but it's really good. Adam of Geekdom, are you going to get a fried apple pie from McDonald's? Is that a thing? I mean, they already have those. I don't know. What's the fried? Oh, did we have a blip? We did. This is good. We're having blips. Is helping us decide where the blips go and how they affect our lives. Okay, so they just returned. I didn't know they'd stopped doing them. I guess I stopped eating that a long time ago. There's no way a McDonald's fried apple pie is like good for you. It's good in a zombie apocalypse when you got nothing else to eat, but that's about it. Boy, I'm way back. Sorry. I'm going to catch up. Not a great, just switch to Frontier. I just switched to Frontier. No, I don't have the option. Google Fiber is all I got. Tweetbeds, adopted extended family. Here we go. Molly Fenton. All of the Tadpool are the Johnson family. That is true. You guys are all welcome. You're either, what are you, siblings or kids? No, you're like siblings. You're all too old to be my kids. Red Fraggle, the 14 other people in the elevator with the person with diarrhea. I know, I feel bad for them. But you know what it would be, though, Red Fraggle? Because the person I'm talking about would be surrounded by other people who I also have a bunch of problems with. They wouldn't be in there with strangers. You know what? Give them all diarrhea. And then just never go into that elevator ever again, as long as anyone lives. Okay. Oh yeah, remember that TVZ gun, the Burger King burger that Kim brought you that one time? I can almost smell that. All you have to do is say Whopper, and I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Zoe says, when are we going to have a Frog Pants Minnesota meetup? Sooner than you think. Wendy and I are talking, so I don't have dates or anything, but we are talking. When's your next Mississippi trip? Probably If I had to guess, early next year, that's about the time I think my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's house is finished. I think they want us to go down there and see it. And we just make a big family thing out of it. Peter Coyote's a frequent flyer. Yeah, he does a lot of voice work for Ken Burns. Keith David, Keith David, Peter Coyote. I forgot the guy who did the baseball one. He passed away, but he did a bunch. He has his favorite voices for sure. The Pagan Gen. I miss David McCullough and Shelby Foote. Those were my two favorite collaborators. David McCullough, that's who it is, who did baseball. He's great. Oh my gosh, he's good. Would you have Dear Martha without Ken Burns? No. No, that established the Dear Martha letter thing. That's the basis of it. That's even the music from it. Do you guys know when I play that? That's the actual Ken Burns Civil War theme. This. I mean, that's just right from it. Straight out of it. All right. The point was about US at 250. Oh, you're just correcting me. Okay. When Megas, do you have any old school strategy games you still like that aren't Warcraft or StarCraft? I do like, oh, geez. My brain just went blank. Command and Conquer, particularly, was it 2? Big fan of that. What else? There's others. Oh, I like the Company of Heroes series. And I like Warhammer 40K Dawn of War 2 in particular. I think 2 changing to kind of a squad system was a massively cool thing. That game is still an all-timer. I love that one. I wish 3 was more like that. And I don't know what 4 is going to be. 4 feels like it's a little more back to the StarCraft roots or even Dawn of War 1 roots. I don't know how I feel about that yet. We'll see when it comes out. Sunbun, I want to put that on a shirt. We're frying potatoes in potato tallow now. Sorry, we're frying potatoes in beef tallow now. There are no rules. Put that on a shirt. When Megas, remember Keith David voicing himself on Saints Row 4? He was great in that. Yeah, isn't he kind of in the shitter right now because something Will Wheaton said about a movie he was in with him? Or he didn't do anything, but he wouldn't like help protect the kids. The kids were being abused or treated shittily, and he just was like blowing it off or something like that. I don't know how to feel about any of this shit anymore. Okay, go back. Here we go. Let's see. We're almost caught up, I think. What is your favorite non-cucumber pickled vegetable? Red onions. Oh, hold on. Hold that thought. Carrots. I take it all back. Asparagus. Pickled asparagus is my favorite. And I don't even like... Asparagus has to be cooked in a very specific way for me to like it at all. But in particular, a pickled asparagus... It makes me look at food the way that Bobby's looking at me in this photo. Oh, kimchi, of course. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not thinking that's a lot of vegetables though. That's cabbage, that's carrots, that's daikon, that's other stuff in there. So if you mean singular pickled item versus like some sort of combo, if you're saying the combo, I'd say kimchi 100% across the board. No problem. And then the fried apple pie at McDonald's, exactly. It's another fine pickled product. Can you imagine what jugs of pickled asparagus pea must smell like? I don't even want to know. Adam of Geekheim, I don't want to know. All right, well, we did what I wanted to today. We had some interesting discussion. Red Fraggle, this is interesting. If there was a pill that made it unnecessary to eat food, would you take it? Made it unnecessary? Does that mean I could still eat food for pleasure, but it wouldn't matter? Or are you saying I just would never have to eat again? I'm pretty sure I would take that pill. Can anyone relate to this? Eating for me went from, 10, 12 something years ago, I would stress starve. So when I would have stressful stuff or big things coming up or whatever, like Nerdtaculars, I used to not eat for days before and barely while it was happening and barely afterward, like just terrible. And as a result, I was way, way, way too skinny and not healthfully so. Like it wasn't great. Now something flipped, a switch flipped about 2017, 2018. Can't really pinpoint what the switch was. Probably biological, some sort of, metabolic switch. But it went from that to stress eating, like the complete opposite. Put a pizza in front of me and you're screwed kind of deal, which is a real bummer. I don't know which I preferred. They both have their issues. But I have gotten better at that generally recently. So I'm feeling like I'm on a better path. But and I lost like 16 pounds as a result, which is good. So it's all good. I just feel, I don't know. There's a combination of things going on. But if I could take one pill per day that had no other nasty side effects and essentially stood in for any kind of nutritional need to eat, yeah, I would love that. I mean, this would never happen because there's a million systems dependent on the intake of calories that humans have. And so this would never work. But if we could simplify the concept down to a little science fiction idea, yeah, I'd do it. I would totally do it. Oh, that's interesting. Let's say you could skip doses if you knew you had a delicious meal that day. Okay. There's no withdrawals or any kind of weirdness like that. I like this fantasy thing we've set up for ourselves that would never exist in this way. This is really good stuff. Quick update on how things are going in... there's no secret to this. Before I go, I'll just talk about this for a second. I've been pretty open about it, pretty transparent about it. Because of the shortfall of international ticket sales and hotel night stays from international folks who got spooked by all the Trump stuff. Again, let me restate, I do not blame them. But because of that, we had a bit of a shortfall with the contract. And we tried like hell to find other ways to supplement and make it work. But it just, at the end of the day, it's come down to some kind of gnarly business. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is I think by Thursday, is that tomorrow? I have I think pretty much a final meeting where all the negotiation I can do is done. I think that any concession they can do will be done and it'll work out. But I've had enough people reach out going, we're worried. Is everything okay with this and that? It'll be okay. It'll be all right. We'll make it work. All right. There's no need to get into the gnarly details, but it'll all work out. Like, here's the thing. The event itself, no hitches. Other than their AV guy being kind of a toad and making life a little hard for me and Kevin early on there. Really no big issues. And the elevator breaking down, that was kind of bad. But that only lasted 20 minutes or something. For the most part though, like actual event, stage, off stage, everybody meeting each other, including nobody super spread some kind of concrete or any of that. We had a really, everything went really, really good. So I don't want anyone to conflate the two and think, oh, well, this shortfall, did that have something to do? No, it didn't. Not at all. We did exactly what we were intending to do. Our ticket goal ended up actually being a little higher than I expected, minus the internationals. Really, it was just room nights. And it's a whole thing. I don't have to get into the details. It's all good. We're going to make it work. It's all going to happen. It's all fine. Just remember, 2020 vision is kind of impossible in some things. Sometimes you just don't have control. It's okay not to have control sometimes. It's okay to acknowledge that you don't control everything. Sometimes it's okay to realize that other factors in the universe are negatively affecting something and it's not your fault. Like, all these things are important things to remember. I'm trying to remind myself of those things. There are nights where I'm like, oh, geez, why didn't you think of this? Why didn't you think of that? But I'm trying to be kind to myself. Anyway, I'll let you guys know what's going on down the road when we get there. But for now, I want to thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I especially want to thank the listeners who are hearing this and are like, if you've made it this far into this weirdness, then you deserve a pat on the back, good sir or madam. This wasn't what you signed up for. You didn't know that this was going to be today's episode. Obviously, it's a very visual and chat-centric kind of conversation we've been having, and you've shown great patience and being willing to be here and hang out with me. In the meantime, if anybody out there has got any comments, thoughts, feelings, whatever, keep those emails coming in, keep those texts coming in, voicemails, all that fun stuff. We will be back tomorrow with a regular TMS episode. There will be a core tomorrow. Tonight, play retro. Plenty of stuff coming your way. And we have a new log file. Only 0.3% frames lost in today's stream. So we're going to dig in and see what that was. One step closer to figuring it out an answer, hopefully, here. And one final thought about Dr. Calhoun. He's a very tall person. I don't know if you know that. It kind of freaked me out. Here's some photos he just gave me. These are lovely. I love it. Well, look at Liam just chilling. That might be the most candid shot anyone got of Liam. Before everybody filled in there. Look at all these people. I miss you guys already. All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you next time.